put on your television at home. Unfortunately, you'll just have to take my word for the champagne. It's very good.
The mischief maker extraordinaire, always up to no good. We'll see you again soon, Tim Bailey. Well, who can forget that fresh-faced joy on Kerrin McEvoy on Brew last year? Well, there's a new kid on the block, and what better way to make your mark than by winning the Tooheys Melbourne Cup? Let's see.
Ever since Peterson Albans rode Bryces to victory back in 1876 at the age of just 13, the Cup has been a stage to introduce new talent. The latest was just last year when Kerrin McEvoy partnered Brew. And the next fairy tale story might just belong to Reece McLeod on Celestial Show. McLeod has been touted as the next big thing in the saddle and nearly pulled off one of racing's greatest upsets when he partnered Celestial Show in the Caulfield Cup. He just missed out, but third place was still the biggest thrill of his short career.
In the Caulfield Cup, when I ran third, it was quite a big thrill, that. Would have been better if you'd had won, but third's good enough. And a riding it's good enough.
His master, Pat Carey, says Reece has not been fazed by suddenly being thrust into the spring spotlight.
About the furlong post when he looked like he'd put his head in front there for a while. But, yeah, he's coped very well.
Carey is bringing Reece along in the classic mould of a real stayer at his magnificent property at Huntley Lodge. He limits the number of race meetings he rides at, fearing the curse of all young sports stars, burnout.
Well, he gets a full day off every week, but, you know, I think, you know, 4 or 5 days a week riding is more than enough for, you know, basically for any jockey, but particularly for a young one who's growing and trying to cope with it all.
Reece had never ridden a horse until someone told him he was too small for football and should try being a jockey. He convinced his mother to ring the VRC, and a few weeks later he was sent to Carey's stables.
He started me off from scratch, which was important. He took me the right way. I was still small when I was a bit younger, but he took me the right way. I was real quiet early. I don't think I could have had any better boss than that.
Reece recalls barracking for Kerrin McEvoy on Brew last year, and as his big chance approaches, he's inspired by the memory.
Even now when I watch it, just my back of my neck just stands up, the hairs on my neck. It was a great experience to even watch him ride it. I was wrapped.
Celestial Show ran a big race in the Melbourne Cup last year, and Reece plans to ride her much closer to the lead than she was last time.
I wouldn't want to be any further back than 7th or 8th, I wouldn't think. Last year I think she was last the whole trip. She got a bit unlucky, I think. And as I said, she only got beat 5 lengths. To have her ride in the race, just can't explain it. You know, she only got beat 5 lengths in last year's. It'll be a big day. I'll have to be at my best, but I'll be able to cope.
Well, this is a game of hopes and dreams, and as you can see, there are plenty abounding today. Just about an hour to the big race, the Amy Victoria Derby. Stay on 10. We'll be back with more Derby Day action right after the break.
This is the first day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival 2001. You're watching it live around Australia on Network 10, joining around 100,000 people here at Flemington and enjoying the festivities, enjoying the atmosphere, enjoying the racing. And one man who is certainly enjoying the atmosphere on his second visit to Flemington to ride Persian Punch in the Melbourne Cup, Richard Quinn. Richard, good to see you back here.
Great to be back.
What sort of atmosphere does this carnival give to you? Is it unique in world racing?
I think it's very unique, and you know, we got the train in from town this afternoon, and it's just incredible, the atmosphere. It's really special.
You're going to get the train home on Tuesday, if and when you win the Melbourne Cup?
Well, we'll try.
What about the old horse Persian Punch? He finished third behind Jezebel here back in '98. He's now 9 years old. No 9-year-olds won the Melbourne Cup, but he doesn't know he's 9.
He certainly doesn't, and he's trained well for the race. His form in Europe this year has been better than it was when he came out in '98. So, you know, we're coming out here. He's been here before. He knows the ropes. He's an old pro.
The fact that he has been here before, will that help him to acclimatise? Because it seems to have been a very difficult task for the European horses to acclimatise over here.
Yeah, well, when he came out in '98, he didn't really eat very well for 10 days prior to the race. And this year he came out and he was straight into his food, and, you know, there's not a worry on him.
What about the pace of the race? The Melbourne Cup is a different pace to the races you race in Europe. Is that a concern in the early stages?
Well, it is for him. I mean, he's 17 hands just about. You know, he's got a great big long stride, and in Europe he can dominate his races and make the running. In this particular race, the Melbourne Cup, he just can't go the first 6 furlongs, and you just can't stop him in his stride. You got to let him build up, and. You know, if he'll win through staying, he stays 2.5 miles on the flat, so that's how he'll win. He won't win it through speed early.
Wonderful to have you back at Flemington. We'll look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, and the best of luck with the old boy Persian Punch.
It's very kind.
Richard Quinn joining us here in the mounting yard at Flemington. And as Richard departs, Jenny Chapman comes in, and we take a look at the fillies in the Qantas Wakeful Stakes, race 5. The Oaks lead up, and Juan Mo leads them out with Brett Preble aboard, barrier 16.
This horse was very impressive over the Brisbane Carnival, Peter. She steps up to the 2,000 metres here, but I don't think that's a problem for her. I think it will suit her. She probably need a little bit of luck from barrier 16 there, but she's certainly got some class about her, and she'll be there with some chance.
As well as being the Cups King, Bart Cummings could be the Oaks King as well, because he's won a multitude of Oaks races all the way around Australia, and he's got one of the favourites here, Magical Miss, to be ridden by Stephen Arnold.
Barrier 18 and 57 kilos. Those are the only 2 things against this horse, really, Peter, because her form has been terrific. A last start winner in the 1,000 guineas, and she was just too good for her opposition there. I think she's there with the chance if she can overcome the barrier 18.
Corey Brown's mount is number 3, Hosanna, for John Hawkes.
She's a good horse. She placed in 4 group races in Sydney before coming here, and Flemington's probably going to suit her a little bit better than Caulfield, so I'll leave her there with some chance.
Bit of a gear change on Ugachaka, number 4 today. They've put a tongue tie on her, and going on her win in the Edward Manifold, she's in this up to her ears.
She just might not like Caulfield. She's had 3 runs there, and they've all been her worst runs in her racing career. So back at Flemington here, she's performed well here, and I think she's a chance.
Looks very bright in the mounting yard, as does this little girl, number 5, Lilo Lil. Darren Beamon, the rider for Leon McDonald, the one you like in the race, Jim.
Yes, I think she's a nice horse. I think she can relax, although she's a little bit on the toe in the mounting yard. That's a slight concern, but she hasn't sweated up as yet. She's a winner of the size produce in Morphettville, and I think she's a chance.
What about Ross McDonald's runner here, number 8, Tully Thunder, with Jimmy Cassidy aboard?
Had no luck there at Flemington. Was a bit slow out of the barriers as well, and then flew to the line. It was a very good run, but it worries me just having that 3.5 weeks off. That's the only concern, but a value chance for sure. It's pretty good odds, around about 15 to 1.
We've already spoken about the fact that number 10, Gold Lottie, was oh so impressive at Caulfield. She destroyed them, raced away, won by about 6 lengths, and worked really well the other morning.
Little concerned about her in the mounting yard, Peter. She's sweating up quite a bit and getting a bit on the toe with the big crowd here. No doubt that the wet track would have suited her as well, so I'd say she's there with a chance on her last one.
And there's the Lee Friedman filly, number 13, Menang. I think she'll be pretty hard to beat today, and she might be hard to beat in the Oaks too. The rider, Karen McAvoy.
Keeps on improving, Menang, and like you, I do think she's got a good chance in the Oaks. If she performs well here today, she just seems to have done everything right so far.
What's your trifecta, Jen?
Well, the trifecta, I'm going for number 5, Lilo Lil, from number 11, Hot Beat, and number 1, Juan Mo.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen about Menang here at good each-way odds. I think she'll run a good race, and if she doesn't win, well, I think she'll be running on well enough to suggest that she's going to be a chance in the Oaks on Thursday. Let's have a look at what tote punters have made of the activity prior to the running of the Qantas Wakeful Stakes. Dan Malicki.
Juan Mo still at pretty good odds, $17. 660 Magical Miss, Hosanna at 11, 630 Ugachaka in a very open affair again, 680 Lilo Lil, 16 Moonfluke, huge odds Paladama, Tully Thunder at 15. 9 is Alethea, the South Australian filly at 48, 740 Gold Lottie, Hot Beat 12, Shah Elma massive odds, Menang at 770, Keys 19, and again huge odds about numbers 15 and 16 in the Wakeful Stakes. That's a look on the tote. Let's go into the ring with Tim Gossage.
Good on you, Dan. This is the most amazing betting race I have ever witnessed in all the years I've been coming to the Cup Carnival. 10 minutes ago, there were 7 horses equal favourite at double each way odds. It is the most unbelievable market you've ever seen. But the one they have come for is number 2, Hosanna. And I can tell you that Hosanna opened up at double figure odds and was the 7th horse in betting when they opened. It is now the favourite. There's been a bit of money for Uga Chaka. It is an incredible race. You're getting incredible value whatever you back. But the best back is Hosanna. Peter Donegan, I've never seen a market like it.
Tim Gossage on the spot with this amazing betting race. That's number 3, Hosanna, the one that they've come for. And here's the map, 2,000 metres. They start over by the Maribyrnong River. It's a fairly big field, though, because we've got 16 runners, and even though they've got a run of 600 metres or so down to the first turn, they'll still want to have a position by the time they start making that turn at the 1400. There are the panel selections. I've gone for Menang along with Dan and Gary, Lilo Lil for Jennifer, Magical Miss for John Letts and Simon Marshall. Roy Higgins has joined me, and yes, in a field of 16, Roy, even at 2,000 metres when they've got the long straight run, you still want to get a position as quickly as you can.
Yes, people think because there is a straight run along the back of the track of some 600 metres that it's automatic, you've got plenty of time to get in. Strangely enough, those jockeys have already found their position on the fence. They're not going to give it away. No. So if you're on their outside, you're left there. I did actually win this race. On
How many times?
4. Oh. But no, on light fingers with 9 stone 3, which is about 58 and a half kilos from barrier 20.
Really?
But I was on light fingers.
Yeah, well, that made
That's
a bit of a difference. Now, this is important to get your thoughts here, Roy, because some of these little girls can get a bit fizzy, especially on a warm day.
Yes, most of them were pretty good. There was only one really fizzed up very late going out on the track, was number 10, Gold Lottie, which she looked terrific down the back, but by the time I got up here, she'd started to show the tension and excitement with this massive crowd. The 2 top weights here in Wan Mo and Magical Miss. Both these fillies looked outstanding in the yard. Wan Mo's had no luck here, drawn awkwardly again in 16, and also Magical Miss drawn awkwardly out there in 18. They're going to need big luck, but by gee, they're 2 nice fillies. There are some very nice fillies in this just the same. I marked 2 on top of 1, 2 outstanding fillies. Certainly for Uga Chaka, back to Flemington. I think you'll see a big difference here with Dee Oliver on board. And number 11, Hotbeat. This filly has been racing terrific without a lot of luck, and today she looked absolutely outstanding. That's 4 of possibly about 10 chances in the race. As the betting indicated, I marked them 2, 1, 4 and 11, and I got the last trifecta for 350 also, Pete.
Well, all I can say is your shout. At the end of the day, we'll be looking for you, don't worry. Roy Higgins, courtesy of Sport 927, joining us on Amy Victoria Derby Day. And of course, the Derby is the one after this. The Wakeful goes at 2:15, and then the big one, the Amy Victoria Derby at 3 o'clock. The middle pin of the Group 1 treble as Gold Lottie comes up towards the gates is the Thrifty McKinnon Stakes at 3:45, and then the sprinters will fly in the Salinger at 4:30. Let's have a look at the Derby totes quickly as they move in here with Gold Lottie in the stalls, and you can see now that Ustinov is out to $2.40, Viscount $3.80, Amalfi $4.90. I think that's a bit more like it. 2-1-3 is the tote order. Sakan Demon, number 4, is the best of the others. And there's been a little bit of money at good odds for Tully Zeal, number 10. So a bit of specking for that. Let's head back to the betting ring to this incredible betting race. Tim Gossage, what can you tell us?
Bit of late money for Magical Miss now, Peter. Magical Miss and Hosanna almost share favouritism at an amazing double each way odds. But at the moment, maybe Magical Miss will jump favourite, Dan Malecki.
Thank you, Tim. Yes, it is. It is an amazing race. 660 on Super Tab for Magical Miss, 630 for Uga Chaka, who's gone out a little bit.
Gee, Dan, I like the look of the 3. Hosanna, I thought, looks very well. And, you know, one trained by John Hawkes, ridden by Corey Brown. Drawn nicely in 6. Magical Miss needs a bit of luck, has to get a bit of cover. It's drawn out. We'll start from 16 with a couple of scratchings. Stephen Arnold, he'll most probably have to drop back, because if he goes forward, the danger is you get trapped out wide. And a lot of these fillies, this is the lead up to the Oaks, and you'll see a lot of them. Gold Lottie, she's just sweated up a little bit, and it makes quite a big difference if you can get them to relax, because they step up from the 2,000. The next Thursday they go over the 2,500 metres, and you've got to get them to relax if you're going to be able to run in the Oaks.
Keys and Magical Miss out at 2 away from the line, while the others locked away. A 2,000 metre event, the Group 2 Wakeful.
Hello, riders.
Qantas Wakeful Stakes.
Yeah, we're right to go, riders.
And they're ready to run. Race 5, Flemington, Amy Derby Day. Racing, Missing the start, Shah Elma. Wanmo could have got squeezed up after the start. It goes back to second last. Primary Vision, one of the first out with Hot Beat and Lilo Lil. Gold Lottie's forward in the early part, looking for the lead with Hosanna handy, and also Keys is up there. Back about 7th on the rails was Silk Vale, and then Paladama from Manang about midfield in the red and black colours. Then Magical Miss, Tully Thunder, Uga Chaka. Elathea's on the inside of Moon Flute, Wanmo, and 4 lengths away Shah Elma. Heading towards the 1400 metres, and Keys goes to the lead. Gold Lottie and Hosanna's pressing forward now. So it's Hosanna who's going to take up the running from Gold Lottie. Keys is now back third, and Paladama goes to fourth. A length and a half away Hot Beat, and then Primary Vision, 2 lengths away Silk Vale on the inside of Lilo Lil. Speed's been pretty good for the first 600 or 700 metres. Midfield Tully Thunder in the blue and white stripes, and then Manang. A length and a half away then to Elathea and Magical Miss from Moon Flute and Uga Chaka. Wanmo second last and Shah Elma's last. 1,000 metres to travel. Hosanna led a half a length on Gold Lottie. Keys is third. Paladama, the bolter, running fourth. And then Hot Beat on the inside of Primary Vision. 2 lengths to Lilo Lil. And then came Silk Vale from Manang, Tully Thunder. It'd be about 10 lengths off the lead. 2 lengths away Magical Miss. And then Elathea as they round the bend from Moon Flute, Uga Chaka, Shah Elma, and Wanmo last. Less than 600 to travel. Hosanna's about to turn into the straight in front of Gold Lottie and Paladama. Keys right behind them, and then Hot Beat scrubbed up from Primary Vision, Silk Vale, Tully Thunder into the clear, and then Lilo Lil. Gold Lottie tackles Hosanna, the bolter Paladama. Lilo Lil gets out, Tully Thunder runs on, so does Magical Miss. It's Gold Lottie tackled now by Keys. Tully Thunder late. Keys went for the lead from Lilo Lil. Gold Lottie kicking back. Keys in front of Gold Lottie, 50 to go. Keys just in front, and Keys beat second Gold Lottie and Lilo Lil. Tully Thunder may have been a little bit unlucky. Paladama ran a cheeky race. Then Magical Miss. Next home was Hot Beat, then Wanmo, Hosanna Weekend. Then came Manang. She never came into it. Further back to Primary Vision, Silk Vale, Elathea, Shah Elma, and Moon Flute.
Keys, lovely ride by Craig Williams. He got her over, got her nicely covered up, Dan. Had a little bit of trouble in the straight, I thought, getting to run, but when he got it, Keys ranged up alongside Gold Lottie, and they fought it out very well.
The second horse kicked back forward on well. I thought Tully Thunder, something must have happened to her at about the 250. She might have got cut off for room, I think, Gary. She was a good run. I think she can improve out of that. Keys doing enough on the line, but Gold Lottie, you'd think she'd run the distance to the Oaks all right. She fought it out well. Lilo Lil third, number 5. And fourth in, I thought Tully Thunder was a bit stiff there. Yes. She was just about to get wound up, and something could have happened there. She's run fourth, and fifth in was Paladama, the 200 to 1 shot. He ran a cheeky race. Let's go to Mark Aston.
Thank you very much, Angela, as one of the owners of Keys. How do you feel? You got very excited.
Very excited, of course, yes. Well, we're part owners with New Haven Park Stud, and we own the dam, and so we're very, very excited with what Keys has done today.
What a thrill. Congratulations. Enjoy the moment.
Thank you very much, I will. Thank you.
Some happy owners there, and there is Craig Williams aboard Keys. Wonderful ride. He went up to the front, as Dan said, over about the 1400. And then decided just to ease and take the trail. And the winner, Keys, is in the white cap. In second placing, Gold Lottie in the white cap in front of it. And at this stage, Lilo Lil and Tully Zeal, the horse that Dan were talking about, still out just on the edge of the frame as we roll the replay here. Gold Lottie travelled up to the leaders pretty well, but Gary Willits, I thought it was a heady ride just to let those horses go when the pace was going to be solid early.
Yes, it was, because she'd got a little bit steamed up before the race, as Roy pointed out, when they're in the mounting yard. But gee, she's run a great race, Gold Lottie. But gee, Keys, Craig Williams rode it beautifully. He got that nice set, got a nice bit of cover, and that's why she's been able to, you know, come out from behind those horses and run home very well. It's great to see Craig Winners ride a winner again, Dan, in the city again. Got a winner on Weasel Will on. That's right. Cox Plate Day, and he's obviously got one of the strong fancies for the Oaks now. All significant factors, the top half a dozen in that finish. Here's Craig now with John Letts.
Yeah, Craig, a very jubilant Craig Williams, and I think Crown Casino must have backed that, Craig.
Oh yeah, they've been great sponsors of me throughout, ever since I started riding, so it's great to see the Crown at the end and you're in front. It's great.
Now the filly, Craig, you had the box seat, got out the gate good. She got a little bit of a jam up just after start.
Yeah, she got a little bit squeezed and she wanted to really ride the bridle, so, but it was good. Mr. Connors didn't give me any set instructions to just ride the horse, enjoy it. And so I didn't have to restrain. I just rode her and set her alight a little bit, but she settled on me nice.
And when you let her out, she really got out. She flattened out, didn't she? Got the line very strong.
Yeah, she did. She actually travelled a little bit too well, but the way she found the line, she's a class horse and she's in great set for the Oaks.
Now she's going to run in the Oaks, and can we see Craig Williams on her?
I'm not giving the colours back.
Well, there's the answer to Clary Connors. If he tries to take the colours, he's not going to get them.
He'd be in for a fight anyway.
Congratulations, Craig.
Thanks, mate.
Well done, buddy. That's fabulous.
Craig Williams coming back there with John Letts after a wonderful ride aboard that filly Keys, and shortly we'll be catching up with Clary Connors in the mounting yard. But look at this young man. Well, he took Europe by storm quite a while ago. A couple of years ago, he went over there, and everyone thought, well, who's this young kid from Australia? And he certainly proved that he had the ability to be able to ride with the best of them. And he's pretty happy too as he comes back to scale. Craig Williams aboard Keys in the Qantas Wakeful Stakes in front of this huge crowd. Look at that scene. Well, will she be doing that come about 2:30, 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon? She's going to be very much in the race after that performance. I did like the run of Magical Miss as well. And she was getting home nicely. From an Oaks point of view, she got a long way out of her ground, and she was able to get home and to run into about 5th or 6th placing at the end of the race. So Craig Williams coming back to scale now. We might try and head outside and see if we can have a quick word to Clary Connors and just catch up with him after what was a terrific performance. Clary waiting down in the winner's circle as Keys comes back to scale. And Clary has just gone out to the horse, as he should do, really, under those circumstances when you win a race on Derby Day. And we'll wait for him just to come back in just a moment. Second placing, very good effort by that filly in Gold Lottie. She did travel nicely up towards the lead. Lilo Lil also a very good performance. Tully Zeal, as Dan said, probably didn't have the best of luck over the closing stages. And let's see if we can get out here to Clary as he takes a look over Keys. So that was a pretty handy win, Clary.
Yeah, Peter, why she stuck it down. She's a bit too close early, and Craig got her settled down nice in the box seat, and I thought she showed a fair bit of stamina at the finish.
He's a good jockey in that regard, isn't he? He was able to bring the horse back underneath him because there was a chance with all that pace on and all the cue to go up the front that she might have fired up a bit.
Yeah, well, I thought she might have, once she was there, he might have gone to stay. It was good when the other couple went round her. Then he got to relax nice in,
What about the Oaks?
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, you've got a bit of an association with that race, and as Keys comes out in front of us here, she's just having a little bit of a blow, but she's a very fit filly. Of course, you've had your bad luck with Viking Ruler, who went a miss, but maybe this little girl might make up for it.
Well, we planned to win the Derby and the Oaks, but we'll just have to try and win one now.
Maybe just one will do.
That'll do.
Good luck, Clary. Clary Connors, the trainer of Keys, which has done a terrific job in taking out the Qantas Wakeful Stakes. Race 5 on the Carnival on the first day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival 2001. And as we watch the fillies stride to the line in race 5, we'll take a break. We'll come back with the weight signal and the dividends. Hope you're enjoying Derby Day, wherever you're watching around Australia.
You'll pass that.
1, 2, 3.
There we are. The ritual after the Qantas Wakeful. And everything is okay. Correct weight is there. Race 5 as we draw ever closer to the Amy Victoria Derby. There's the winner, Keys. Clary said he wanted to try and win the Derby and the Oaks. And he could very well have won the Derby if Viking Ruler had a stayed sound, but he went amiss, so he might have to settle for the Oaks, and she'll be hard to beat, that filly, Dan.
Absolutely. It's strong Wakeful. I think it might stand up for the Oaks. I like the top half a dozen performances there, Pete, so I think they've all got chances come Thursday as well. $19 for Keys and $5.80. $2.90 Gold Lottie, who fought on really well. $2.30 for Lilo Lil, who wanted to hang in a bit over the last couple of hundred. $77 Quinella, Exacta $157.20, Trifecta $1,127.50, and the running double on 4 and 14, $161.20. Fourth in was number 8. And fifth in was number 7, and they were Tully Thunder and Paladama, who at huge odds ran a cheeky race. And I think Magical Miss was right behind them. The time was 2:1.2, and that's a terrific time for 2,000 metres. And it's probably the fastest Wakeful Stakes that has ever been run, Pete.
Be pretty close to it, I would think, Dan. 2:1.2. There's the record now, 1:59.46, set by Northerly in the Australian Cup of this year. Well, I think the bookmakers probably would have finished up winning on that race no matter what one, because it was such an amazing betting race, as Tim Gossage told us. Tim, what can you tell us?
Well, stunning to say the least, Peter. Well, that horse was always safe in the market. Keys paid about $18 on the total, or $19. It was about 4 or 5 points shorter in the ring, but not a lot of money for it. Bookmakers, again, take the money, 5-0. Let's go to the Derby, probably the worst betting race of the lot, to be quite frank with you. Ustinov, $2.40 on the tote, dollar for dollar here in the bookmakers ring. Basically, that's about the price. Viscount. It could be a 2-horse war in the betting ring and a 2-horse war on the track, Pete.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tim, if one of those two doesn't win here, well, the bookmakers will be able to finance not only their Christmas holidays, but all of the holidays for next year as well. Ustinov at $2.40 on Super Tab, $2.60 and $2.20 in Queensland and New South Wales respectively. $3.80 for Viscount, $4.90 for Amalfi. They certainly do look the three. Sekan Damon is the closest of those on the first page, the Geelong Derby trial winner at $17.70. Then we go over the page and we've got Tully Zeal still getting some support at $13.40. Jen, let's recap once again on the Derby as the pools build up.
Well, I can't really surprise you here, Peter. I think it's a race in two, really, with number 1, Viscount. I put on top just at the odds, that's all. I've got enormous respect for number 2, Ustinov. He's bred to stay. He's going to run a terrific race, and, you know, he's a very, very solid chance in the race. And number 3, Amalfi, just to run third.
So just give us one outsider for people who want to maybe take a four-way box trifecta.
Well, there's a couple of outsiders. I suppose National Chase will stay, and then you've got Tully Zeal, and then the backs factor. I suppose they're the roughies that could, and Sekan Damon. I can't really give you one, Pete.
I said one, not 4.
All right, I'll go with the backs factor.
Okay. All right. Well, I think maybe Thunderhawk might be the one. Let's have a look at the full result from the previous race, the Wakeful Stakes. And as we know, of course, it was Keys from Gold Lottie and Lilo Lil. Now, Magical Miss did get home into 6th placing. Menang, probably a little bit disappointing without having a look at the replay. She didn't really ping at the end. Uga Chaka got a fair way back in the race, and Wanmo was also a bit of a disappointment, but all honours with the winner Keys in race 5, after which it's time for the presentation. Here's the chairman of Qantas Airways, Ms. Margaret Jackson.
Chairman, committee members of the VRC, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, what a fabulous day and what a fabulous race. Magnificent Derby day. Qantas is very proud to be involved in the racing season, and our involvement with racing commenced in 1994 with the sponsorship of the Wakeful Stakes. And prior to that, Australian Airlines was involved since 1989. Today was actually the 70th running of the Wakeful Stakes. It gives Qantas great pleasure to be involved. And for those of you that don't know, the Wakeful Stakes was named after that great race mare, Wakeful. So those of you that are attending, that you might like to note that these horses today are worth watching for Oaks on Thursday. So it gives me great pleasure to present the award to the winning connections, being represented by Richard Kelly.
Margaret Jackson from Qantas handing over the trophy to the winning owners of Keys after the Qantas Wakeful Stakes. The 3-year-old fillies have had their moment in the spotlight today. Shortly, it'll be the turn of the 3-year-old Colts and Geldings in the big one of the day, the 147th running of the Amy Victoria Derby.
Just minutes away now from the big race, not very far away, and as you